Robert, I'm really happy you and Rudy came to Italy to visit us.
Yeah, whatever. I thought it might be interesting. It's been a rough time and we both needed to get away.
I'm so sorry to hear about your parents. That is really so sad. They were both so young. You know, I knew them both in school. Your father and I went to St. Boniface, and your mother went to St. Helene. Your father and I were best friends during our school times. I actually introduced him to your mother.
Yes, believe me, I've heard a lot about you and Karl Heinz. The dean remembers you both fondly, especially your money and Karl Heinz title. He never forgets to remind me how much you and I have in common.
Well, your father was not the most outgoing kid in school when we met. I helped bring him out of his shell.
He was a bit of a turtle, ugly, slow and thick-skinned. Of course he would have to be to put up with my mother. She was a real piece of work. She defined rich bitch. She made him miserable. So I'm not sure good old Karl Heinz would thank you for that introduction.
Robert, that is not a very nice way to speak of your deceased parents. Haven't you heard you don't speak ill of the dead?
They are dead. So what? They can't hear me. As if they ever did.
You seem to be a bright but angry young man.
You have no idea how bright or how angry anyway.
Rudy, it is such a pleasure to meet you. You are so much different than I imagined. I do not understand why your father and you do not get along. You are so sweet and charming.
Oh boy, I see what my father sees in you. You are everything my mother is not. You are young, naturally pretty, sweet and so gracious. I came here really wanting to hate you. You were the woman that my father left my mother for, but now meeting you, I can't. I know my mom is difficult and they made each other miserable, but they are my parents. She is my mom and he hurt her.
Of course, my dear Rudy, I understand. She is your mother, and no matter how much she hurts you, she is still your mother, and you will always love her. That is the way it is supposed to be. Boys love their mamas.
So tell me again in Italian, how do you say you have a lovely home? Thank you for inviting me.
Hai una bella casa, grazie per averti invitato.
How do you say you are a beautiful lady and gracious hostess?
Oh, Rudy. Thank you, you are so sweet. You are embarrassing me.
Really, how do you say it?
Sei una bella signora e padrona di casa.
Sei una bella signora e padrona di casa.
Oh, not even close, but it is so lovely that you try.
Well, sometimes parents are not perfect, but we do what we can do. Rudolph and I have our issues too.
Oh, I know all about them. You think he is stupid and wish his sister was a boy because she got all the brains in the family. But I think you underestimate Rudy. He has blossomed under my tutelage.
Well, that is a harsh but not untrue statement. I like your candor, young man. So you really are carrying on the tradition of the Hobenthalers and von Wattenbergs, aren't you? It is quite nice to see. You two are such good friends.
Oh, I would not go that far, but we have a very close, complicated, and intimate relationship. Good friends is not how I would describe it. He is somewhere between a pet and a project. Not a friend really. That word is a loosely used word. It does not accurately describe the relationship we have concocted.
It sounds sordid, but school is a time to explore and to experiment. Your father and I had our wild times too. But once we were married and had children and careers, we settled into a more traditional, acceptable life in our society. You will too, I'm sure. Enjoy while you can.
You are such a smug and hypocritical bastard. I know you and your type. I grew up surrounded by men like you. You have this proper mask you present to all your society circle and business buddies, and then you sneak away with your little piece of ass to some quiet hotel end of your fun, while wifey is home getting drunk, popping pills and screaming at the nanny because the children are making too much noise.
As I said, Robert, you are a bright but angry young man. There are times and places for this type of discussion, but now is neither the time or the place. Remember, you are a guest in my home. It is not proper etiquette to insult your host.
Fuck etiquette. I know all I need to know about you. I know who you are and I have a pretty good idea what you did and when.
I'm not sure what you think you know, young man, but I assure you, son of Karl Heinz or not, I will deck you if you continue.
Let me show you boys' room and then we can go to the kitchen and whip up some lunch. I'm sure Georg and Robert will be hungry by then.
Knowing my dad, he is probably pumping Robert for information about what a fuck-up I'm and then quizzing him on what his plans are for the future. It is always business and money with him.
Oh my dear Rudolfo, don't be so hard on your papa. He is not like that here with me. I do not care about such things. Let's go.
It has a great view of the lake from here.
The views are why we bought this place. I love the Italian Lake District. I grew up here nearby in Verona. We would come here every summer for holidays. I'm sorry the guest room has only one large bed. I hope you boys don't mind sharing one bed.
Seriously, Isabella, it is not a problem. It is not the first time we have shared a bed, if you get what I mean.
Oh, so that is how it is.
Yep, that is how it is.
Okay, let's make those boys some lunch. Why, you little scamp. Let's get lunch ready and stop this silliness.
Okay, Mr. von Wattenberg, so what is it that you think you know, that you would come into my home, insult me and threaten me? You don't even know me, we have never met until today. Yet you prance in here like the little prince, and start throwing around vague accusations as if it were your birthright.
Oh, that is so rich coming from you.
What is that supposed to mean? Speak up, boy. You've shown you have no trouble speaking your mind regardless of the circumstances.
Okay, so what do you know about me?
I know you are Karl-Heinz and Sophie's son. I know you go to school with my son. I know you were born between my daughter Teresa and Rudolph. I know you are the apparent heir to the Prince of Wattenberg title. I know your family foundation has donated millions to charity on the death of your parents. I know that you've had a surprisingly positive influence on Rudy. Although he was never too academically bright, you've brought out his social skills. He dresses better, is articulate now, he can be charming. He is still a little deferential, but he will grow out of that. I assume he has a small crush on you. Schoolboys often get those. He will grow out of that too, I am sure. I know your father and I did. What do you know about me?
I know you are Rudy's father. I know that you and Rudy do not really like each other. Hate is a strong word, but you two are almost there. I know you cheat on Rudy's mother with women half her age. In fact, you are playing house with an Italian beauty who is only a couple of years older than me. I know what you are worth and how you hide your money. I know the name of your accountant. I know where your family assets are hidden in the Cayman Islands. I know the rental income of the 70+ properties you own in Austria. I know how much income you get from your concrete plan in Steyr. I know you cheated on your final thesis paper in school. I know where you have your suits made on Savile Row in London. I know your blood type. I know you have had heartbeat irregularities for several years and take medication for it. I know you take B12 vitamin injections to maintain your virility and energy. I know you dye your hair. I know that you have been following a Mediterranean diet since you met Isabella. I know you play tennis twice a week with a member of a well-known Russian mafia don. I know you fucked my mother in the weeks before she married my father. And I know you are my father. And I know I will kill you for that.
You bastard.
Why, yes, I am. I think lunch is ready. Let's go eat.